My dear students, we are talking about competency-based interviewing, and the last bit and piece is the technology and format. A further distinction can be made, which can be called technology or perhaps format. We look at two major issues. One issue is how many number of interviewers should be in the competency-based interviewing, and second, what kind of technology we are going to use in the competency-based interviewing. So first talk about number of interviews. Which is a better, a panel of interviewers or one-to-one arrangement? So whether you would like to take a face-to-face interview or you would like to take a interview with a panel. So should there be a separate note taker, or should interviewer would take note by himself? So these are the important questions which need to be answered. In both cases, the answer is it all depends on. Panel interviews have some advantages in that greater number of judges boost reliability. So what advantage we will get from the panel interview? That it would boost reliability of the interviewing process, because too many people are sitting to interview one candidate, and that would enhance the reliability of the interviewing process. Have disadvantage in that they are resource intensive. It can be intimidating and can look terrible if not well organized. So disadvantage that there are more resources needed for panel interview. It is more resource intensive. And second thing, that if it will not be organized in the proper manner, it can be terrible and you would not be able to get better answers from the candidates. Now talk about the technology. Technology play a vital role in the competency-based interviewing. So technology considerations relates to the media to be used for interview. What kind of media you are using to interview the candidates. Alternative to the face-to-face interview include the telephone interview and the video conferencing interview. So there are telephonic interview and video conferencing interviews as well. So telephonic interviews are becoming more popular but have received very little empirical attentions. So despite of the low empirical attention, still most of the companies are using the telephonic interview as a part of their initial screening process, because it is more cost effective, it is more time efficient, and it is more suitable and beneficial for the candidates who are going to appear for your company. It may save a lot of time of the candidates to come to your company, visit you, and then interview in the company. So it is better to have a telephonic interview. One recent investigation found that compared with a face-to-face interview, telephone interviews always resulted in a lower rating of candidates because there were no visual evidence to moderate. So one disadvantage of the telephone interview, that you cannot see the picture of the person on the other side, and you would not be able to observe the non-verbal body language. So if you cannot observe non-verbal communication, if you cannot observe body language and the facial expression of the candidates who are going to appear in an interview, obviously it may lead to some disadvantage. The rating, always remember that for better or worse, what you say is far less important than how you look or even how you say it. So which itself raises a big question mark against interviewers. The implication of this is that you should not mix both types of interviews, telephonic interview, in the same recruitment exercise. We will suspect it will not be too long before people are being interviewed over the internet using PC-mounted video camera, having already located the job on the World Wide Web and submitted an application via email. So it is not a good idea to go for different kind of interviews in different types of interviews based on the technology in one interviewing exercise. So you have to thoroughly judge that what kind of interviewing techniques we need to use and what kind of technology we need to use, because technology is something very unreliable. Sometimes you are going to interview, but technology can create problem. Technology cannot give you something alternative to the face-to-face interview, but there are some circumstances in which you may need to use different kind of a technology-based interviewing.